God gave me a dream and a warning in this dream for you, telling you that this will turn into a big problem. Something that you think is small right now in your life might turn into a much bigger problem than you think. It's going to be revealed to you through this video if you listen closely, if you listen until the end, because there's different parts of the dream. Each one may speak to you differently, so listen carefully, because you don't want this problem to happen and to grow bigger. And it can grow bigger much faster than you think. And if you're new here on this channel, my name is Ivaldi. I just help you here grow with God, become everything He created to be by telling you what God tells me to tell you, right? There's like sometimes prophetic words, dreams that God gives me. I tell you here everything God leads me to so that you can grow with God, become everything He created to be, achieve your full potential. This is the point of the channel. Welcome. So, in this dream, the first part was I saw a man, which can represent you, whether you're a man or woman. And he was running faster than before. So he started running faster, not really sprinting, but just running at a good, faster pace. And then I passed several people, and at some point, one of them asked, just in the air, kind of just says this: how does this get to this level? Like kind of like undermining him. Like he was still running, and he's like, how does this get to this level? And then they started hitting a volleyball. Actually, it was not a volleyball. I always confuse volleyball. It was like a badminton ball, like just a badminton thing, right? So with they have like rackets in their hands, and it's just like going back and forth with this badminton ball. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. So, and they were going back and forth with him to test him. The same group of people that with this guy that said, how does this get to this level? And they kept running as they were doing that. And it reminded me of the Christian race, of being a Christian, but also growing into your calling. And as you begin growing in your calling and doing what God is telling you to do, people will notice. Some will genuinely admire your progress, and others will begin testing you. And notice something important, like the man never stopped running. He kept moving while the distractions came. And the volleyball, I wrote volleyball for the entire thing, but it was not a volleyball. I remember now. It was a badminton ball. So if I say volleyball, just know, okay? It was not necessarily like evil, right? It was just a test back and forth. It was actually something that may be necessary. And it was simply just another thing competing for his attention. But while they did this, he kept running. And sometimes not every distraction is sinful. It's simply like test of focus. Test of like, are you able to do this at the same time? And sometimes it's something that is actually needed. I think it was like maybe a part of the race to throw like badmintons back and forth, right? But he had to keep running at the same time. And in Hebrews 12:1 and 2, it says, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking into Jesus. 1 Corinthians 9:24, run in such a way that you may obtain it. So you don't stop. You keep doing it. You keep repeating. And he kept going back and forth with the volleyball. Anyway, Philippians 3:13-14, it says, forgetting those things which are behind, I press toward the goal. Right? He forgot about like the last level, the running slower. He kept running at this faster pace while hitting the badminton ball. And then there was at one point the volleyball became trapped. Like it just like some of the balls, by the way, he went back and forth. Some of the balls like just fell. He just missed it, right? So some tests he didn't pass, but he kept running. And yeah, at one point there was this bird out of nowhere. It came and it just like ate the ball. It just put it in its mouth, and it just, yeah. And then there was a larger bird that almost swallowed the smaller bird. And eventually the man hit the larger bird. Then someone said, "Watch this." And the bird suddenly began growing 6 evil-looking heads. So this was like this bird, and out of this bird, like just on its side, it just grew like just weird, evil-looking heads. And this is the warning. There's like a small interruption. The small bird, looking good, comes and swallows the bowl. The bowl is like necessary to go back and forth, right? To make a repetition. Maybe it's like to keep doing the work. And then there's a slightly bigger interruption. A bigger bird comes and swallows the smaller bird. And then the hidden evil is revealed, right? The bird did not initially appear bad, evil, demonic. But only after something was spoken, like someone that said, like, watch this. Only after the guy like just actually hit the bird and finally got the ball out, it was revealed, oh, this is what it was. Because it was stuck, like they couldn't play anymore. Maybe you couldn't work anymore. Maybe there's like some kind of like meaning in this thing. Like you were doing something that was necessary to run your race. At some point it just gets swallowed. And then it gets swallowed with something even bigger. Maybe a bigger problem comes. And then once you hit this thing and you start to hit the ball again, it's hidden. This was actually very evil. This was Satan himself trying to make you stop to hitting the ball, right? And make you stop running the race. And sometimes compromise looks small. Then eventually its true nature appears. And there was 6 heads. And it's like the multiplication of evil. There was like 2 heads got out at once, and then 2 more, and then 2 more. I was like, dude, very weird. And it was evil. And yeah, this is like sin also that grows. You may think like, oh, it's a little compromise. No. It's much bigger than you think. Because you're taking the path now, right? You're taking the path of sin. Once you sin just a little bit, it doesn't matter. If you struggle with lust, once you just look at a woman with lust. This is what Jesus says. Someone that just looks and lusts over a woman, he has already sinned. He has already committed adultery in his heart. Because this is already done. In your thoughts, in your mind, in your heart. And once you did that, it's much easier, and you know this, if you struggle with lust, or if you struggle with gluttony. I know when I eat 1 donut, man, it's very hard to stop. It's very, very hard to stop for me. And I eat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Do not take the path of sin. I'm not saying don't eat any donuts. That's not what I'm saying. Hear me out. Some people can, some can't. Know yourself. If you look, you can't stop, stop yourself before you start, right? In Song of Solomon 2:15 it says, catch the little foxes that spoil the vines. The little foxes, the little tiny thing, the little bird. It seemed innocent. It seemed like a beautiful little bird. It was yellow. It was a yellow bird. And it just come up, it just got the ball, and then a bigger one came, and then when you turned out, it was like a very evil bird, right? Even I think the bird itself changed, and then the evil heads came out of it. 2 Corinthians 11:14, Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. You might think it's like, oh, it's a cute girl. Nothing evil about it. But how are you attracted to her at first? Did you become attracted to her from seeing her from behind? Right? Is it because she was wearing a revealing dress? How did you become attracted to her? Right? You're like, oh, it's innocent. She's just a girl. I'm just looking at God's creation. No. This is Satan talking, right? Like, oh, it's nothing. But it's a tiny thing that is going to make you go into the big, gigantic trap of the enemy, in which he wants you to be stuck in. This ball could have stayed stuck if the guy didn't hit it again with the racket. He just like realized, oh, we need to continue playing. He hit it back. He would have not noticed that these 6 heads, and the ball would have stayed trapped in the bird, and maybe it would have swallowed it or something. I don't know. Right? So be careful. Ephesians 5:11, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. Then, other part of the dream. By the way, if this resonates with you, I really suggest you like and subscribe to this channel so that more videos from this channel are going to help you tremendously. And if you want to support it, I'll link in the description to give to this ministry. It comes back to you. It's biblical. Thank you so much. Those of you, you have no idea how much you help. You help this ministry grow. And you encourage me because it means like these videos actually help you out. I don't really know with the views and stuff, like even likes, comments. Sometimes I don't really realize it when I see like, okay, people actually want me to continue doing that. So thank you so much. And sometimes God speaks to me through like numbers that people donate. It's crazy. So like you give like $9.99. It's just like it means exactly something. So I don't know. Like God speaks to me through, even with the names of people that give. It's crazy. Anyway. There was this guy that was messaging daily. I think he was on Snapchat. Yeah, I don't use Snapchat, so this is not for me. And he was messaging daily and was afraid of losing his streak, right? But there's a meaning that can be for everybody, even if you don't use Snapchat. And he was afraid of losing his streak because he was feeling forced to continue forever. And this was not like fear of speaking to people, it was fear of like committing and feeling obligated to respond to people, feeling obligated to people please. Whether it's Snapchat or social media, whether you feel like you're missing out on something on social media, with algorithms, with notifications, you've got expectations that you're trying to meet from other people. Anything that starts like owning your mind instead of serving your purpose, it becomes unhealthy. And in 1 Corinthians 6:12 it says, I will not be brought under the power of any. Galatians 5:1 it says, stand fast therefore in the liberty. This liberty is not when you feel obligated to respond to people, obligated to keep messaging people daily, keep checking social media every day, keep doing this thing. You've got to be free from that. You don't have to. I'm literally telling you right now, you don't have to. Don't feel like you have to do something. Especially because you're trying to please other people. Even if you have people sending you questions or stuff, I feel this need a lot. Right? So this is part of the dream, even though I didn't use Snapchat, was for me too. If you use Snapchat, I used to use Snapchat. I really suggest you don't do these kind of streaks things, or even like the stories on Snapchat. I think like they're very distracting and destructive. Anyway, next part of the dream. There was a Sonic actor, and I don't know, like you know the movie Sonic, and there was an actor and he threw his toy. It was also a Sonic toy, maybe representing speed. And he threw his toy into the lake and immediately jumped after it. Like he jumped after it, realized that, oh, he needed that toy or something. He just like, he shouldn't have done this. And then he realized, oh, I'm soaked now. And he had to film again after this. He had to get back to work, and so it was messy. Sometimes you create your own problems. Sometimes it's not Satan. It's not the enemy trying to like, oh, dude, trying to get you. It's you yourself. It's like, dude, think before acting. Don't act hastily. Don't make impulsive decisions, because this creates unnecessary consequences. In Proverbs 19:2, it says, he who hastens with his feet sins. If you, oftentimes, right before you're going to sin, right before you're going to eat what you know you shouldn't eat, or you're going to look at what you know you shouldn't look at. Sometimes you get a still small voice that tells you, no, you shouldn't. And because you're attracted, because of your desire to go and sin, to go and do the thing that you want to do, because you're listening to the flesh, you're going to do it immediately before the voice of God, like before you have the time to listen to it, before you have the time to actually apply it and just wait on it, you're just going to go and sin really quickly, right? You know what I'm talking about. You're going to like eat this thing up before, like, I saw this like literally happen in real life. I remember someone, I was like telling, like, I was going to say like, I think you shouldn't eat that, and immediately they just like grabbed it and they like ate it immediately. They didn't want to be convicted of the thing. And maybe you realize like this is something that happened to me too. I did that, right? What is it in your life? What is this thing that you're trying to not do? Wait. Don't act hastily. Don't act too fast. If you just, I have this thing in the program, in the Beat Less with Christ program, I teach my students to do this, like just procrastinate. Procrastinate on the sin. It's a great tool to when you can procrastinate amazingly for the work that you need to do. Why not use the same tool, the same procrastination for the bad, right? Minus plus minus equals plus. Like a negative and a negative becomes a positive. So you do a negative behavior for a negative thing, it becomes a positive thing. And so, yeah, procrastinate, just wait. This is just like, even tell yourself, I'm going to quit, I'm going to fall, I'm going to, even if I'm going to do it, just not now. In the moment when you have this temptation, because the thought of you, in the moment when you're tempted to give up even, the thought of you stopping and not doing it forever, because you crave it in the moment, it feels unbearable. And so because of this, you don't want to stop, you want to go and do it immediately. Because you have the opportunity right now, because you think you're never going to get this opportunity back. And maybe it's like even just to, I remember this thing when I was running a lot, trying to, or like doing stairs at the gym. I tell myself, I'm going to quit, just not now. Because this gave my mind an out. Okay, it's not going to be as hard as you can, as hard as you think. And so you can just do a little bit more. You can just wait a little bit more. This is bearable. So you're going to wait. And when you wait, it's going to be easier to wait a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And next thing you know, the temptation has passed, and there you go, you keep going. You didn't give up. You didn't fall in the lust. You didn't fall in the gluttony. You didn't fall. This is a great, amazing tool. I teach this in the program. If you struggle with lust, any addiction, flesh addiction, link in the description to access the financial, the free from lust program, Beat Less with Christ program. In 33 days, in 5 to 10 minutes a day, God frees you from lust, supernatural, but becoming a new man, and also having like all these techniques that God gave me the knowledge for. I'm telling you, this is for you if you struggle with it. If you recognize yourself in this video, I'm telling you, this is for you. Next part. And also in Ecclesiastes 7:9, it also says, don't be hasty. Then there was this man that can represent you, that was recording a video saying, if school is a better environment than home, children grow differently. And if school is a worse environment than home, children grow differently. It was very meaningful. And it almost like felt like, okay, your environment, it felt like God was telling us about how your environment matters. And also maybe understanding your environment, maybe how you went to school. I remember for me, my home was a better environment than school to me. So I hated school all my life, and this shaped who I became. Because the environment at school was very negative to me. It was very harsh. It was very, like, I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel understood. I felt like it was just like bad. And so I took this with me. Even in the workplace, I was scared of working for someone. Maybe I still am at some point. I never actually had a job. Maybe it was also for the best, right? God turned this evil, it turned it for my good. But you need to be aware of your environment, because this will shape you. And your environment right now is not only physical, The people that you hang out with, of course, great, insane impact that they have on your life. But also the people that you watch on social media, that you constantly see. This environment shape you, shape your faith, shape your sins. So you gotta be wise and pay attention to what you should let in your environment, what you should not tolerate. Increase your standard, right? No more of this. A little bit, if you struggle with lust, a little bit of like girls showing too much, just like boom, unfollow, block, change your algorithm, right? Control your algorithm. This is also one of the things I teach in the program, for example. I teach you how to do it. Change your algorithm. Show the algorithm what you actually want to see. The reason why it's showing you all these dirty stuff, sometimes at the beginning it's not even because of that, because the platforms just really want you to be addicted to them. So you will register. I remember for me, like registering for the first time on TikTok like years ago, and dude, show like what the hell is what's going on here, right? What's that? And it's because the algorithm wants to catch you. You just say, oh, you're a man, or maybe if you say you're a woman, you get different content that will make you addicted to the platform. This is the goal. So I also suggest you delete TikTok, honestly, no matter what. Like, I don't care. Even if you have great content, it's just too addictive. It's just too. If you struggle with any addictive behavior, just remove it. If you're spending more than 30 minutes a day on TikTok, you should remove it. And yeah, your environment is also your responsibility. In Proverbs 13:20, it says, "Walk with the wise." 1 Corinthians 15:33, "Bad company corrupts good character." And something in Psalm says, "Blessed is the man who avoids ungodly counsel." Ungodly counsel, avoid it. And then in the dream, there were like people that stopped playing ping pong and became silent, and they listened and they were impressed. And they were impressed, I think, by the accent of the man or something like that. And because they were like from different countries, and he was talking about something, saying something true. It was very interesting. And this, I think, there was a girl that gave a compliment to the man, and then she wanted some more attention, and it became a temptation and a distraction. And so be careful when you're good at something. Maybe the guy was good at playing ping pong, right? Tennis table, right? Table tennis. Anyway, you get the point. You're going to get good at something. You're going to be praised for something, compliments, and next thing you know, it's taking you the wrong direction. So be careful. In Ecclesiastes 12:10, it says, "The preacher sought acceptable words." Colossians 4:6, "Let your speech always be with grace," because he was speaking well. Proverbs 16:23, "The wise heart teaches his mouth." But also, be careful not to let people praises, because then there was admiration, then affection, then gifts, right? Just like gifts, like praises. Then a temptation appears immediately after. Success attracts attention. Attention can become temptation. Proverbs 27:21, "Praise tests a man." John 12:43, "They love the praise of men more than the praise of God." Be careful. Then there was someone doing drugs, smuggling drugs or something, receiving drugs, and instead of quietly dealing with it, he had drugs on him. And instead of receiving it quietly, I think he was not supposed to. He didn't want people to know. For some reason, he just put some loud music, and this drew attention and making the situation worse. And this is actually a very biblical principle. Like, people often try to hide the sin, and they hide it through maybe more activity. Like, they try to compensate for like more activity, maybe talking more about like everything. But while they speak more and more and more, the more you speak, it's going to reveal what's in your heart. And if you have sin hidden, it's going to be revealed as well. The best thing you do when you have sin, just shut up. Shut up, right? Don't talk too much, don't try to appear righteous when you're not. Sin hidden is going to be revealed in secret. Everything hidden is going to be revealed in secret, but also you don't want to hide it. When he was trying to hide it and not tell anybody, that's why we go to confession. You gotta go to confession. You gotta confess your sins. Jesus says, confess your sins to one another. And when you hide it, immediately as he hid it, for some reason he put like loud music. So this trying to hide it actually draws attention. So don't hide it. And yeah, it's like you create more excuses maybe, and make more noise, and maybe lies. And the cover-up becomes worse than the original issue. Proverbs 28:13, it says, he who conceals sins will not prosper. Psalm 32, 3-5, it says, David hid sin until he confessed. In 1 John 1:7-9, it says, walk in the light, not in the darkness. Walk in the light. And then I saw also there was this kind of handicapped man, or man that was like struggling, he just felt weak, and I think that was it. And just like the feeling of the man was like kind of compassion. And this is what you got to do. This is what you got to have. When you see others struggling with something, don't judge them. Be compassionate, right? This like have a good heart toward them, wish them well. I remember one of the first time I just started to pray for people, I think I was reading The Power of Positive Thinking. It was like he was telling the reader to basically, when you see someone in the street, just like pray for them. And this, while you pray for them, when you wish them good, it's going to like immediately in your heart you feel better. And I just felt it. I was like, every time now I pray for random people like all the time. Just like I see someone, I just prayed right now for like some like homeless guy that just passed in front of me. Pray for others, be compassionate. And what you do in secret, the good deed that you do in secret, God is going to bless publicly. God is going to reward you for, because God sees everywhere, right? Anyway, that was, I think, the dream. It was, let me give you like a quick thing. So keep running your race. Don't become distracted by every test or expectation. Catch the small compromises before they grow. Don't let praise inflate your ego. And don't hide sin. Bring it into light. Recognize that your words and example influence others. I didn't talk about that, right? When the guy was like seeing the schools, right? Sometimes you are the teacher. Sometimes you speak, you give words, and you influence others. Be careful how you do so. Don't speak negatively. Speak with trying to like positively, always. I really suggest also you read the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. It was a great influence on my life. One of the first books I read, I think. And this was the first time that I even learned a Bible verse. It was thanks to this book. So, yeah, good fruits, honestly. And yeah, hopefully this video helped you out. If you did, like, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, link in the description to do so. Thank you so much. God bless you. If you struggle with lust, link in the description. I'm telling you, the program below is going to change your life forever. I'll see you there, and I'll see you next one. God bless you.